Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. We go to Singapore. We've spoken to David before. He is a businessman. He has great ideas with his sports background. This is also my philosophy, the philosophy of Take It from the Iron Woman, business coaching with sports parallels. Thank you, David, for taking us on your journey. 3 Ironman races, 40 marathon races, and also 2 challenge family triathlons, which is the same as the Ironman distance, sports training, and many other journeys. And what's next? You organize a tour around the race, and I saw you have adventure tours. Yeah. What does that entail?
The adventure tours right now that we are looking into things that are more trails, more outdoor, it's not necessarily a race, but right now we are working on the races. That means the trail events are all races. That means there's a time but what we are looking into right now is expanding this whole tour concept into an outdoor adventure. That means you do sports, but at the same time, you're having a little holiday. All right. You're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. The emphasis on performance has taken the back seat. It is more of feeling alive, running through the woods, running through nature, enjoying yourself for the love of running itself. I mean, when I say adventure, eventually I'm going to include cycling. I'm going to include open water swimming, and not so much of triathlon, but triathlon is a very organized event which you need a lot of logistics. But if you take all these 3 components separately, they're easier to organize.
Sounds fantastic. And I think that's what people, obviously, hopefully we can travel soon again without too many restrictions.
Yes.
I think that's what people are looking for. You organize kind of like the framework, let's say the travel, the hotel, and then you have choices of swim, bike, run, trails. I think that's a fantastic concept.
See, what we're trying to do right now, and I say trying, is that we're in the process of, because what I notice when I take people for all these races, like this World Marathon Majors, is that people are very focused on the race, which is a good thing. But they've been so focused that they don't know how to enjoy themselves. When I say enjoy, means the fixated feeling about wanting to perform has taken them away from the time where they can interact with other people. They can enjoy the company, the comradeship, and to have the whole experience. What we are trying to do now is to move away from any emphasis on time races of an outdoor adventure thing. Let's say we bring them for 4 or 5 days, and they say every day we're going to explore a run here. All right. And then after we come back. So what I intend to do is actually I intend to incorporate my coaching, my life coaching into this element. The nature of the outdoor adventure can be anything. It could be run, but I will start with runs. It's the easiest in terms of logistics. All right. Right now, runs, because all I need is a proper place to stay and hopefully near nature, woods, mountains, and they run, they come back, and we can get them to have what we call time to reflect. Okay, how do you feel? Talk to one another about it. It becomes a whole retreat the word we can be construed as, oh, I'm going there to have my spa, that sort of things, which a lot of people have the tendency to equate that. But what we are trying to do is we want to create a chance where you discover a lot more about yourself through the outdoors. And that is actually something not new to me, because I done it when I was a teacher in college. When I was taking the junior college students, I was actually running the outdoor activities club. What we do is that we have camps, and these camps run for like 5-6 days, and they go to trekking, they go to hiking, they go to canoeing, they do a lot of things together, and it actually bonding among the people is tremendous, and they learn a lot from one another. And I found that during those days, there was a lot that I could teach them through the time together. So my intention to do it with adults is that they can learn from one another, not just from me as a coach, but learn from, because they're adults. So it's like, okay, they learn, and it can be a fun thing. It doesn't have to serious talk, discussions more. Then maybe evening we just go for a little, have meals together, have little drinks and talk about it. And the next day we go for another part of the outdoor activities.
Count me in. This would be my dream. Obviously, we do both the same, executive coaching, leadership coaching. And I think it's that element when we do something together and when we sweat together. Maybe some people don't like to hear it, but when we're just sitting here and doing nothing, that's one thing. But I think if you do something, you put your energy into it and your focus into it, your good thoughts, that's when you learn. And that's when you learn about yourself, and you learn about others, and you learn from others.
They'll be good. I would love to have a chance to bounce more ideas with you, because I think there's so much I can learn from you too. And we'll never know where this goes, because I believe in the energy. Once you combine the right energies and getting the right people together, I think we can get something going.
I see that more and more now with the pandemic, when people were so much indoors, that when you can go outside, it's even an extra. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like it's freedom. You go outside and you can express yourself. You come back and you're so much more productive and efficient and happy.
Yes, I'm with you on this. And if I may add, all my learning that I've discovered about how this intrinsic health is coming along is, to me, I approach my whole coaching now from a very holistic point of view, not just for my sport. I do a lot of leadership coaching now. However, I intend to bring this approach to the national sports bodies, especially with the swimmers right now, which in Singapore, which I hope to incorporate this thing about a mind, body, and soul thing, where it's a complete approach rather than coming for training, going through the mileage, miles and miles of swimming or training, but they don't get in touch with themselves about what's happening. Coming back to this holistic approach, I intend to bring this whole many facet into a place where people can be themselves. They can discover about who they are through outdoor activities, rather than they're in office all the time. They work, and like now with this pandemic, people are working from home. Sometimes it's like there's a pen up thing that needs to be expressed. And I think and we are social creatures. We actually want to interact. All this isolation, social distancing thing can only be done for a certain time for the sake of prevention of any outbreak. But it cannot be extended, because the mental health of people are now being questioned.
I think so. And we need something like that in order to overcome the mental health crisis. And When you see research, it says like it's about safety at the workplace. People want to have a secure job.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's about happiness. And we know that a lot of people are not so happy with the jobs. But I also think it's because they don't have the sports that they can add at the moment. And the sports brings more happiness to them because you exude your frustrations when you can do some activities.
If you go into the neuroscience, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I'm reading a little bit about it, about how the chemical release, about all the good feelings. It all comes from a lot to do with our physical activities, our interaction with people. And it sends that it releases those chemicals in our brains, our whole body, and you feel good. And it's not something that it is not understandable. It's actually science. It's actually science, and it's been accepted in a lot of the well-being of people that we need that. All right. There are different chemicals. It's like the dopamine and oxytocin, something. And it's all released through activities like that, interaction with people. And when you spend time, even right now, spending time with you, I feel good because there is something that's being released. All right. And I feel your energy. And even though we are miles apart, I feel your energy. And this is something which is not often overlooked. It's not that people don't know. It's often overlooked. To think that you come to office, you do your work, or you work from home, and they don't look into the well-being of the individual and say, what's going on with you that needs to be, we need to pay attention to.
And it's hard work, some of it, right? So people, when you come to those retreats, sometimes you find out something about yourself that you might not like so much.
Yes, that's right. It gives you a different setting, and you're meeting people maybe you have never met before. I mean, some people may not be very comfortable meeting strangers, but I think it's a good start. There was once I was interested in trying to do corporate work, but I find that corporate work, you're not moving away from the dynamics at work yet. There are pros and cons, but when you take pockets of people away and you put them together, let's say I get somebody from the States or somebody from Europe, somebody from Singapore, and we all come together into one little safe space, have a camp, have a retreat, and do what we love to do together. I think magic will happen.
I think so.
That's how I feel.
It will happen. I wish you good luck. Let us know what's happening. I'm certainly interested and intrigued to follow what's happening, because that's also my past. I mean, people say, you're crazy, you're always running. But I also say, if I don't run, and I wasn't able to run the last 2 days, I'm going a little crazy. So I know when I can go outside, and it's my time, my thinking, this is when I do the best thinking. And I have much more energy for other people.
You're giving me ideas right now.
Okay.
Thank you very much, because it helps, because it's like I'm always making sure that energy is being fed.
And exchanged probably also. I think when you have those retreats, you have more or less like-minded people. So you can come up with ideas like, oh, what about this? What about that? You can create many good things. It's creativity, innovation. We want to hear more from you, but thank you so much, David. This was lovely.
I'm sure we can go on.
We can go on. Maybe we have another talk when we see your company flourishing, and we have many people asking for it. Thank you for having us. Always lovely to connect with a sports person with a business mind and a leadership mind and a coach. Take it from the Iron Woman. We have episodes every Monday. Don't miss out. There is something for everybody, from sports people to coaches to authors, people with interesting backgrounds. Something for you. Thank you for your support. See you next time. Bye-bye.